Hello, Stacy Drake here, and this last video that I'm making before I go off to vacation is about problems on Long Island. Now, first I want to start like some just suggestions for like improving the rush hour commute on the main line, which would be to like divert some of the Montauk trains to the Babylon branch while increasing like the amount of like flyers on the Port Jefferson and Ronkonkoma branches. Like have East Williston trains run more frequently, and then like Hicksville trains stopping at Carl Place first. That's the idea. There are plenty of flyers that go along the Syosset, Cold Spring Harbor, and Huntington corridor, but of course that's like a wealthier area. So anyway, problems on Long Island. We need to find these homeless people homes, safe homes, because the only reason why they're committing these crimes is to survive. They need to survive, and we're just too cheap to help them. It's just awful. And then there are... And then whenever they try and, like, cut bus service, it succeeds. This bus service is important to some people. Like, I know that I ride Beeline Paratransit and I have lots of people to drive me around, but some people don't have people to drive them around, and aren't in the Nassau Able ride because of how few... I might be wrong on, like, the amount of paratransit vans there are in the fleet, but on Wikipedia it says there's only 8, and most of them are used for the community shuttles. I think there are more, but yeah. Problematic on Long Island. So there's another topic I want to cover in a separate video about like more passenger railroads needed in the country, but that'll be in a separate video. So Long Island, oh my god. And we need another separate video I'll cover another day, maybe after vacation, is the Clares and the conditions, and one's on the main line and one's on the Pretty Little Babylon branch. But that'll be a separate video. Like, I remember taking trips down Long Island, and the Long Island Railroad main line, seeing trash everywhere. I saw a boarded up building in that other video I showed. And when I was taking a train to Mineola, I saw a homeless person asking for money. Now, I can understand why they're doing that. It's perfectly fine when you're not being given help. That was my trip to Mineola. It was the weekday trip where I was on one of those stupid Huntington trains that only runs once per hour instead of twice per hour, like it should be. That's another problem you can solve. Have the Huntington branch run like weekend midday schedules just on the weekdays, midday. And then there's the part about like alternating stops that needs to be fixed on the main line. And then why did they stop running Ronkonkoma trains half-hourly during weekend peak periods? I don't know, not really peak periods, but if you take a look at this timetable from 2015, you'll see that there were trains that ran half-hourly, like 6:32, 6:12, 5:32, 5:12, 4:32, 4:12. And now it's just hourly over there. And that's for weekends, both Saturdays and Sundays. So I don't know why they decided to like mess that up. Long Island just needs help. And why can't we just introduce the M9s to service and more frequently? You know, people who are like part of that demographic on the Babylon branch say like like executives who are in charge of the railroad say that we need to like solve the problems of homeless people at the Babylon branch station. Like it's a lot worse at Mineola and Hicksville or Westbury. That's where it's a lot worse. That's where it needs to be solved. And then the no shuttle buses at all when they stopped running them to Hempstead too. No shuttle buses, really? You're required to provide shuttle buses. It's just sad what's happening. No shuttle buses. And then I can understand the Z train not running because there's not enough diesel equipment. And if New Jersey Transit would just fork over the Mark 3s and then the Mark 2s and then get the Comet 3s back in service for increased service on New Jersey, that would be a great idea because New Jersey Transit has a bunch of Comet 3s lying around that are collecting dust and are just fine for service. So there are just lots of problems, and I think I will plan on taking a trip to Hicksville and walking around instead of just getting off at the station and reporting everything was just fine when it wasn't. Like, that video I made, I'm really sorry I made it. Unless most people, forget I said that. I just made a video called I Was Wrong About Hicksville. Then seeing all of Pine Power's videos about, Hicksville being a lot worse at other times and outside the train station. Man. So, I might cover another video because I wasn't able to think of everything in this video, so bye.